Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for following along. This video, we're going to cover the initial fabrication of the AC compressor mounting bracket. In the prior video, I showed the LT4 in the chassis and pointed out that the high mount alternator fouls the top frame. I'm also going to have to fabricate up an intake elbow for the throttle body, and I'm going to move the top mount alternator down below where the stock AC compressor would be located. So, you know, while I had this car on order, I was looking at various accessory configurations on the internet, and I found this particular one. It's from a company called Wegner, and they have a sort of a unique LT4 accessory kit. What you're looking at is their diagram, and they took a wet sump LT4, put a dry sump water pump on it, and then created a mounting bracket for the sand-in compressor. And I looked at this picture and thought I could purchase the alternator bracket from them, but it turns out they modified the water pump and the belt line is out further than what is on my engine. So I actually have to make a bracket myself from scratch. So I'm going to cover how I'm fabricating this bracket in this video. And once again, I'm documenting this build like a beginner. The techniques that I'm coming up with, I mean, I copy from other YouTube videos or I come up with them myself, and I have some amount of machine equipment to, to build some things. But once again, if you're a beginner and you don't have the equipment, you could always, hire somebody to do it, or you could go with more of a standard build with a standard engine, and you would avoid having to do all this. But I find this fun, and I really wanted that LT4 in this car, so I'm paying the price by having to do a lot of extra work. But to me, it's part of the fun. So if we zoom in here, look at this. I found a bracket that happens to match the sand-in compressor that comes with the Vintage Air system. And then if you look at some of the measurements, the center on frame in the SLC is 16 inches. So it just clears that frame. So this is where I got the idea to mount the AC compressor up high. So I loaded this into one of my desktop tools, and then I used the Microsoft snipping tool, and I just printed it out on my inkjet printer, and I kept enlarging it till I got it the exact size. Once I got it the exact size, I fabbed up the original bracket in plywood. So this is sort of my, prototype bracket, you could say. And I like using plywood because it's strong, so you can hold a heavy piece of equipment with it, and it is easily cuttable. It's a pretty complicated shape. I mean, it's sort of a compound shape. It's got two levels. I'm going to make this out of billet aluminum. Tomorrow I'm going to machine this, and we'll see how it comes out. But anyway, this is the design I came up with. So I'm going to show you how this mounts, sort of just for kicks. All right, well, I took a little break. I probably have to get some more sophisticated video equipment because it's hard to work with one hand, film, talk, and also assemble some parts. But anyway, you could see the bracket is mounted on the AC compressor, and it fits good. I mean, it looks pretty cool. It looks like a big question mark, which I don't know what that really means, but just an observation. We're gonna carry this over to the car, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to put down my phone for a minute. Right. So that fits pretty darn good. Plenty of room between the AC compressor and the frame. When you bolt this in, even with plywood, it is rock solid, so it'll be more than strong enough with the billet. I used a digital compass to check to make sure that the pulley was true, that it's totally perpendicular and matches the angle of the water pump bracket so the belt runs properly, and I think I have it nailed. Okay, so tomorrow I have some time reserved. I'm going to machine up that piece of a billet and fab up this bracket, and then I'll move on to the next step, which is the air intake. But the next video will show the the end result. I'm basically making this bracket out of billet, and then there's another bracket, a sister bracket, that'll go along with this system to hold the AC compressor in place. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.